Hey everyone, it's Ryan Converse, Texas Homes Loans. Hope you're doing great. I want to talk today about one of the most misunderstood topics in home buying, FHA loans versus conventional loans. Most people think all mortgages are the same, and it's not the case. But 80% or around there of purchases in the US are conventional. But it doesn't mean that it's the best option for you. FHA loans exist for a reason, and depending on your credit, income, and goals, it might actually get you into a home faster. So let's jump right in and talk about the differences. First, FHA, why it exists. When you Google mortgage rates, you see conventional rates. When a lender pre-approves you and doesn't ask what type of loan you want, they're probably defaulting to conventional. But here's the truth. Conventional loans have some of the strictest lending guidelines out there, and not everyone fits neatly into that box. That's where FHA comes in. Backed by the Federal Housing Administration, FHA, designed to make homeownership accessible for more people. It has lower credit, higher debt, smaller down payments, and it gives you flexibility where conventional loans typically don't. So, credit and down payments. FHA technically requires a minimum of 500, but lenders can set higher internal minimums. Getting approved down to 500 is not seen very often. I see it very rarely, as a matter of fact. So FHA is still more flexible, but here's how it breaks down. 500 to 579 credit score, you're gonna have to put 10% down. If you go above that, you have that minimum 3.5% down. It's a huge difference. And FHA allows for a higher debt to income ratio, sometimes up to 57% if the rest of your file is strong. So if you've been told your score is too low, your debt's too high, FHA may still work. Now here is the big drawback, and that is the mortgage insurance. With FHA, you pay more mortgage insurance than you do with conventional, and a lot longer. There are two parts. Upfront mortgage insurance premium, the UFMIP. This is 1.75% of the loan amount, usually rolled into your mortgage, so rolled into the loan, not paid out of pocket. Then you have your annual mortgage insurance as well. This stays 11 years if you put 10% or more down, or for the entire life of the loan if you put less than 10% down. So if you're putting 3.5% down, that mortgage insurance is saying the entirety of the loan unless you refinance or you sell. But the rates are also more often than not lower than conventional rates for low credit borrowers especially. So it's not always a bad trade because usually the monthly payments are still lower even after all that. Now there's some property requirements. FHA loans require an FHA appraisal, which is different than the standard lender appraisal and has a little bit more contingencies to it. The appraisal checks for safety and structural standards a little bit more, like I said, strict. Like, are handrails installed? Are there trip hazards? Is the roof in decent shape? Is everything functioning correctly? It's not a full inspection, just like it's not a full inspection with the appraisal from conventional, but it's extra criteria that the home has to meet. And this is why some sellers hesitate with FHA offers, especially in hot markets, because it can create some obstacles, some hurdles unforeseen that have to be jumped or gone through. So it's a little bit of a nuisance sometimes. Now, not all FHA loans are the same. Here are the common ones. You have your standard FHA purchase loan. Most people just call it an FHA loan. There's the FHA 203K, where you buy a home, finance renovations, all in one. It's great. There's Title I loans for certain manufactured homes. There's also construction to permanent FHA loans, energy efficient mortgage for energy upgrades such as solar panel. If you need flexibility, if you're buying a home that needs work, FHA can be a huge advantage. Here we get into the conventional loan standards. So let's compare with conventional. Minimum credit score is 620. Your best rates are about 740 plus. Your typical DTI limit is actually up in 50%. But if you're a first-time home buyer, your down payment's as low as 3%. You have mortgage insurance, of course. It's always required if you're putting less than 20% down. That drops off immediately, automatically, though, at 78%. You can request removal at 80%. If your home's value has increased, you can get an appraisal and make that official, as well as you having paid off your your home a little bit. They call it a double-edged sword that allows you to get that 20% quicker, and you can ask the lender to remove that mortgage insurance for you. Unlike the FHA loan, where if you pay less than 10% in down payment, there's no possible way to remove that upfront mortgage insurance or that mortgage insurance. Another thing with conventional is that 78%, when you've paid off 22% of your house, the lenders have to take off your mortgage insurance. So what are the big advantages of conventional? It's cheaper long term, it's a whole lot easier to remove your private mortgage insurance, and there are fewer property restrictions and appraisal inspections and such. So what's the difference between appraisal and inspection? Just to give a little reminder, appraisal is ordered by the lender to verify the value, where inspection is optional but highly recommended. It's for you, it's not for lender to make sure the house is operating correctly. FHA requires both the appraisal and the FHA safety appraisal, or conventional, just the appraisal inspection type thing. Now, a lot of buyers don't know FHA exists. Before I started in the mortgage world, I did not understand the different loan programs and how they affect people differently as well. Most people think if I don't qualify for conventional, I guess I can't buy it. But that is just not true. The entire point of FHA is to expand homeownership, especially first-time buyers, lower credit borrowers, buyers with higher debt, buyers with limited down payment. When used correctly, FHA is an incredible stepping stone. Here's what I tell my clients. FHA does not have to be your forever loan. You can get into a home now, build equity, and refinance later into a conventional loan with lower mortgage insurance or no insurance at all. FHA even offers a streamlined refinance, which is much easier than a full refinance. One big reason being you don't need all the paperwork that you originally did. So, if FHA helps you become a homeowner quicker, I'd say do it. I do FHA loans all the time. If you're trying to figure out whether FHA or conventional is better for your situation, reach out. I help buyers every day. I help compare the numbers and find their best path to home ownership. Please, please, please don't forget to like and subscribe to this video page. It helps me a lot and it helps me get the education out. Thank you.